In today's video, I want to go over a major update to one of the best free-to-play offerings on the PlayStation 4, and of course with a free-to-play game. This is a free update. I'm talking about Path of Exile Blight launching on September 9th. It's a massive update. The PlayStation blogs got an in-depth post on it, and I want to highlight a little bit of that information. Also, Monster Hunter World Iceborne is out soon, and the expansion is introducing Monster Hunter World Iceborne X Horizon Zero Dawn: The Frozen Wilds. The collaboration has been announced, and it'll allow you to play as Aloy, the main character from Horizon Zero Dawn. We'll talk all about that, and also Gamescom has brought with it a ton of gameplay reveals, game reveals, but one of the games that I'm the most captivated by is SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom. Yes, it's a SpongeBob game, but it looks great, and we'll talk a little bit about that at the end of this video. But first off, let's talk all about Path of Exile Blight, which is launching on September 9th. Designer of Grinding Gear Games in Nick Colan had an in-depth blog post over on the PlayStation blog, and let's read some of it. Grinding Gear Games is proud to announce Path of Exile Blight, set to launch on September 9th. Blight is the latest in Path of Exile's quarterly expansion updates. Each expansion introduces a new challenge league, powerful items, skill gems, a shakeup of Path of Exile's playstyle meta, and much more. In Blight, dangerous fungal growths have begun appearing across the cursed continent of Rayclass, threatening man and beast alike. With the help of the new NPC Sister Cassia, you are tasked with destroying these growths. Cassia has built specialized pump for the job, but as her pump siphons the toxic fungal Icarus, monsters of all shapes and sizes emerge to defend the Blight. These fiends are particularly handy. Luckily, Cassia has designed a range of towers to help protect her pump, which you can deploy. Obviously, based on that description, if you put two and two together, you realize that there is sort of a tower defense element into it, and Blight is looking to combine the fast, frantic action of Path of Exile's combat with the strategic fun of tower defense games. To successfully defeat the Blight, you need to make decisions on the fly, stay aware of your surroundings, and plan for what may lay ahead. Successfully defending Cassia's pump rewards you with valuable weapons and armor and special oils, which Cassia can use to anoint your rings and amulets with powerful enchantments. Alongside the tower defense gameplay of Blight comes a bumper crop of new skills, items, and balance changes. This update provides a significant balance improvements to the Necromancer archetype with new defensive options like the Meat Shield skill gem, support gems which augment the AI of your minions, making them more aggressive or defensive, updates to existing minion theme items, and an overhaul of the Necromancer Ascendancy class. A lot more is being added. I'll leave a link to the blog post in the description box below if you want to check it out for yourself. I would recommend to give Path of Exile a shot. If you're into games that require a lot of time investment, Path of Exile has you covered, as this is a game that people have spent north of 1,000 hours on. That is not hyperbole. If you go on over to some people's Steam pages, you will see that, and the game has made quite an impact on the PlayStation 4, as well as it's one of the best free-to-play games on the platform. And this is a game that if you don't want to invest any money, of course with every free-to-play game, microtransactions is going to be an element of it. I mean, they need to support the game somehow and support all the developers working on the title, but in the case of PoE, you can really get into the game without investing any money, and you can get a quality experience out of it. And that's one of the elements that does set Path of Exile a little bit apart. Again, Blight, the latest major expansion to Path of Exile, will be dropping on September 9th. Alright, moving on from that, here is some incredible information in the form of a collaboration. Monster Hunter World's major expansion in Iceborne will be dropping in September 6th to be exact, and they've announced Monster Hunter World Iceborne X Horizon Zero Dawn: The Frozen Wilds. Of course, the thematics of both of those games really go hand in hand, and Iceborne and Frozen Wilds both being expansions makes a lot of sense. And they dropped a trailer for it as well. This collaboration will let you directly play as Aloy, so that is very cool. Horizon Zero Dawn, in my opinion, is one of the better PlayStation 4 exclusives, and that says a lot given the PS4 exclusive lineup in Monster Hunter World. If you guys have been following this channel, you know how high I am on that game. That game is incredible, and given everything that Capcom has offered with that game, just with the base game, it is just a staggering. I'm not big on DLC and expansions. I would like a game that's released at $59.99 to be a complete game from the get-go, but in the case of MH World, this is a game that came out and Capcom constantly kept it updated, constantly added fresh content to the game, and always made it an enticing and engaging experience. So if they want to release Iceborne with all of the content that it's going to be adding to MH World and charge $40 for it, I am completely on board. Monster Hunter World is one of those games that really justifies justifies an expansion, and I'm a-okay with it. And even in this case, they're doing cool collaborations like the Frozen Wilds and a Horizon Zero Dawn collaboration, so that's really cool, and I hope to see that commitment and support continue, even though Iceborne is going to be released, and it looks like that is the final and only expansion that the game is going to see, at least a paid expansion, I'm sure after that. Given the enormity of Monster Hunter now, they're going to be working on another game, probably not for this generation, but you would be kidding yourself if you don't think Monster Hunter is going to get a follow-up title on the PlayStation 5 and next Xbox. That's a foregone conclusion, given the success of Monster Hunter World and the staggering success of that. Going back to 2017 when Monster Hunter World was originally announced, I did not expect the game to be as well received as it did. Maybe from a critical sense, I knew the game was going to be great, but the fact that so many people are playing the game, it has done staggering numbers on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. It is just an incredibly popular game, and I'm so proud of Capcom. And being a fan of Monster Hunter for a very long time, it's cool to see a franchise that's been around for so long. While it took a long time, it finally made that transition from a more niche franchise to one of the more popular franchises in all of gaming, and it goes to show that even if a franchise has been kind of underrated for a long time, it can always break out, it can always get into the mainstream, and we saw that completely with MH World. Alright, and lastly, Gamescom has been running, but one game that I was very excited to see more about, even though we saw so many games, was Spongebob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. This is a game that when it was announced by THQ Nordic, I was like, man, this is completely out of left field, but count me in for those being excited, and it was obvious to see that gamers were incredibly excited for this game, a remaster coming out of nowhere. But then you look at views and just talk on social media platforms, there was a lot of hype surrounding Battle for Bikini Bottom, and I give THQ Nordic a lot of credit in taking a game like this, but also bolstering up anticipation. And here we finally got some gameplay out of the game. THQ Nordic debuted 5 minutes of Spongebob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated gameplay, and it looks really good. Visually, I'm not going to say that it looks as technically impressive as a game that was built ground up for the PlayStation 4, but man, as a charming platformer, the art style completely works. It's a very visually pleasing game, and I think it's a very charming game at that. And whether you're a fan of SpongeBob or you just want to get a younger sibling or a kid a game that's easily accessible, I think this is going to be one that's accessible to all age ranges. Whether you're younger, whether you're an older gamer, whether you're just very nostalgic with SpongeBob, I think it's going to hit a lot of demographics, and I fully expect this game to be a commercial success. I mean, I doubt it's going to take much for this game to break even and start profiting. I think THQ Nordic struck gold on this one, like they've been doing with a lot of their game announcements. I do want to go over some of the key features the game is touting. Noted you can play as SpongeBob, Patrick, and Sandy and use their unique sets of skills to thwart Plankton's evil plan to rule Bikini Bottom with his army of wacky robots and meet countless characters from the beloved series. In terms of what's being added with the remake, faithful remake of one of the best SpongeBob games ever created, high-end visuals, modern resolutions, and carefully polished gameplay, brand new Horde mode multiplayer for up to 2 players, online and split screen, so that is an awesome inclusion. I think like a game like this, you absolutely want split screen, because if you want a game that's a good older brother, younger brother game, a good father-son game, whatever the case may be, this is that kind of game, and to offer local split screen, that is a home run in my eyes as well. And then restored content that was cut from the original game, like the Robo Squidward boss fight and more. THQ Nordic, I've mentioned this in previous videos, but they are becoming one of my favorite publishers in all of gaming. They are just doing such a good job in differentiating themselves from the pack. Yes, they could do AAA open world game after open world game, and they're doing that with Biomutant, and they're working on another Saints Row game, and I'm sure they've got a lot of big budget projects in the works, but the sheer quantity of games that they have in development also lends them to have a lot of interesting games, like a remake of SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom and all of the other projects they have in the works. A Destroy All Humans remake. They got the Kingdoms of Amalur IP, and you guys know that I'm going to keep touting for a remake of that game or a remaster of that game. Whatever the case may be, THQ Nordic is killing it, and I think SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom is going to do really, really well. And that's going to conclude this video. Again, one of the PlayStation 4's best free-to-play games is getting a major expansion in Path of Exile Blight. That'll be dropping September 9th. Very excited about that. Monster Hunter World Iceborne is exciting in its own right, but how about a Horizon Zero Dawn, the Frozen Wilds collaboration? One of the best PlayStation 4 exclusives is coming into one of the best games this generation, bar none. Super excited about that. And SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom, excited to see more of that. THQ Nordic debuted 5 minutes of new gameplay for that. It's a debut gameplay for that game in general, and hopefully we get a release date announcement sooner rather than later, because we don't know when exactly this game is going to come out. I would imagine sometime in 2020. That is going to conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section. section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.